mom was the glue that held our family together. At times, seemingly with sheer determination. I was the youngest, the baby of the family, and I was inordinately attached to my mom. When I was little, I would, with some regularity, tell her on the way to school that I had a stomach ache, so she would let me skip school and go to work with her instead. Once I was older, and that didn't fly anymore, I would ask her for a Kleenex before I got out of the car, so I'd have something from her with me while I was at school. When I was a kid, I sometimes wished she could be the stay-at-home mom, the cool aid family on the block. But that was not her destiny. Don't get me wrong, she took care of us in a million different ways, especially the baby, and that would be my dad. She made dinner for us to eat together every night without fail. She sewed our clothes and taught us how to knit and sew and cook. And she also always worked outside the house, often more than one job. Her jobs were at their core always about helping people. First and foremost, helping her family stay afloat, but also helping refugees as a social worker, then as an ESL teacher, helping immigrant children learn English and navigate life in a new country. In these jobs, my mom stood up for those who needed it most. Once, some of her students were refused free lunch because their parents didn't know that they had to fill out some forms. The cafeteria workers even dumped the food in the garbage in front of these kids rather than let them eat. My mom was outraged and complained to the principal, and when he did nothing, she kept advocating for these kids until this story hit the local news and the court of public opinion got that principal fired. The lesson here is that you mess with my mom at your own peril. When we were all out of the house, my mom went back to school to get her master's degree, and her career took flight as the school district and later textbook publishing companies recognized her abilities and kept coming to her with new opportunities. I recently heard her recounting stories from her remarkable career, and she had a twinkle in her eye when she mentioned that at one point she had a much better parking spot than my dad did at the Dallas School District Central Office. Over the years, I got to witness how my mom managed taking care of her family and having a fulfilling career, even if these two things didn't always happen in equal measures at any given time. She was my role model for being a working mom. She taught me by example to love your family fiercely, to weigh your priorities, to sometimes make hard choices that your kids may not understand until they're older, and to not sweat the small stuff. And I'm still working on that one. She told me that at the hospital right before she passed. I love and miss my mom so much. The greatest tribute I can give her